What is up, guys, and welcome to the final career mode video of F1 2018. I bet you guys thought that this video was never coming, and to be honest, I didn't think it was going to come either, but I just thought I'd give you guys a bit of an explanation. I had originally planned to do like a video where I talk about why I didn't decide to go ahead with my final season of career mode, but I thought it might be better if I just show you exactly why and give you a bit of closure and kind of show you how it might have panned out. So this is why we didn't go ahead in the end. The end of season regulation change for season 3 and 4 demoted Renault and Red Bull. Ferrari slightly improved, but we jumped up massively despite not really doing too many upgrades in between seasons. And when I saw that, I was pretty sad, to be honest. I really thought that we were going to have a really tough uphill battle in trying to chase down Sauber and be right in the mix with Renault. I was hoping Renault was still going to be faster than me. Same too with maybe Red Bull and Ferrari. But it just didn't pan out that way. The other teams just kind of went downhill, with the exception of Sauber. But Sauber, it was still within arm's reach, even now, heading into this race in Melbourne. The way that the R&D system works and the upgrades work, it's so easy to upgrade the car and get points and propel yourself up the order that us with a Mercedes, we just would have dominated the majority of the field. Sauber really getting to the ceiling of their performance. I don't think they have any more upgrades to do, in my personal opinion. So that's the crux of why I didn't go forward with Season 4, because it just would have been so easy that it would have been unbelievably boring. I don't know how I could have got myself out of Mercedes. It just didn't make sense. So the only logical thing for me to do was just not to go ahead with Season 4. But the first few races, that would have been exciting for sure, because we're still behind Sauber. But those upgrades, once you get that momentum, once you get that snowball effect, it's so easy to stomp on your competition, like we saw in Season 2 when I was with Sauber and made them the dominant force that they are today. But anyway, I thought I'd give this career mode series a bit of closure by doing this final race here in Australia. Not too sure why, but I just thought I'd do it and see what the capabilities of this Mercedes is. We did some weight reduction upgrades. I think we did drag reduction as well. So it should be the best package we've had so far in terms of a career mode car we've ever driven. But that said, the Sauber on paper should be a little bit faster than us. So I'm hoping to be in the mix with those guys at the moment. You can see I'm in P18. Haven't got a great lap in so far in qualifying, but we'll hopefully change that at this stage. We're hitting all the apexes. I missed turn 1 a little bit, so a bit of time lost there, but otherwise it's been a pretty solid lap, nearly 3/10 up on our previous best. A little bit conservative through the fast chicane. We're actually losing time to our delta, but otherwise not a bad lap. Qualifying is now over. Last lap of qualifying 1. We need to get above P16, and I don't know how much time we need to find in order to do that, but we need a good close of the lap. Sector 3 is where I was losing a little bit of time versus the AI through the final couple of corners. It's an okay exit. We're going to improve by 3/10 here as we come across the line. Doesn't get us out of Q1. Sorry, I want to be in Q3, but that is not the case. It's P17 for this Australian Grand Prix, my home race, and we are down the order. What a disaster. What an absolute disaster. Lewis Hamilton gets P13 on the super soft tyres, so he's 7/10 ahead of me on a harder compound. Oh dear. I think there's an element of rust for me. Normally I am all over my teammates in the career mode series, but maybe a bit of rust and probably a bad setup, mainly the rust of me being crap, has resulted in this.
Tough luck there. It's not quite where we'd want to be on the grid, but chin up, it's not the end of the world.
New drivers, new cars, and a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that hosts the first round of a 21-race championship, taking us from here in Melbourne, Australia, across the globe before we eventually reach the season finale at Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. With that then, let's run through the grid order. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside.
Are you serious? This always happens when I don't make Q2. No, Siri, you can shut up now. This always happens when I don't make Q2 or Q3. The AI just fall apart in qualifying and their quali times are atrocious. 2 seconds slower than what I managed in Q1 Hamilton, and you've got pole. Nice hacks. But anyway, here we are for the Australian Grand Prix. I'm certainly faster than where we qualified.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
But it's just going to be a case of trying to get through the field as quickly as I can. I've got to rely somewhat on a safety car to bring me into the game here. But otherwise, it's going to be a tough race. To be honest, Australia is always one that is hard to overtake. So making sure that we just take every chance we get, really, and we'll see where we end up at the end of the race. On the super soft tyres, playing the long game. Let's see if this can work out for us. 5 red lights, and away we go for the finale of career mode for F1 2018. Let's see if we can end on a high. It wasn't a great start, to be honest. I lost a place to one of the Toro Rossos, I believe, and now one of the Haas's is trying to make a move on me. Contact through turn 1. I think it was one of the McLarens and a Red Bull, potentially. I'm not too sure. We're second last in this Grand Prix, so not a great start. Look at the sparks flying everywhere. A lot of people have got weight reduction upgrades. Maybe they've been aggressive with the setup, lower ride heights, I'm not sure. But normally, if career mode season's gone past, I'm normally the only one who's got sparks flying out the back of my car, and now the AI have got the same trickery going with their flaws. Interesting. Maybe they are just genuinely a lot faster. It's hard to tell. Actually, we're going up the inside of one of the Toro Rossos. That is Pierre Gasly. We're trying to slaw past. Yep, slaw past. That's a good one, Ben. We get past Hartley as well. We got a bit tangled up on Stoffel Van Dorn. It's so weird seeing the 2018 drivers for me now. I've been so used to watching the 2019 real life Grand Prix season, and I don't know where this whole transitional phase came for me, because it was still weird when I watched the first race in Melbourne and then still playing F1 2018 and not seeing the 2019 drivers. But now I'm like, whoa, this game is so old now. I'm so used to 2019. It's quite weird. But anyway, we've got a bit of a train forming up ahead. The Williams, pretty competitive in this season of career mode. If you're new to my channel, basically I was with Williams last season. I tried to build them up. I got them into a midfield-ish kind of position, but nothing really progressed beyond that, and that's when I transferred to Mercedes, and here we are. So yeah, that's kind of the story of career mode so far. We started off with Sauber, had a really good season in season 1, built upon the momentum in season 2, and we absolutely dominated, and since then I've been looking for a challenge ever since. It looks like I'm getting one at the moment. Maybe I shouldn't have stopped the career mode series if I'm really this rusty and this crap at the moment. It may be quite a while yet before I win some races. We've got Stroll and Ocon going really slow here, getting tagged by Stroll on the inside, and now it's just a whole mess on the run into the third sector. Let's have a replay. The 2 Williams get tangled up here. I try and avoid, and then I try and avoid Ocon, and Stroll is on my outside. It's just really, really messy. We need to see from third person. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about, Ben. Nice editing. So I move to the left, Stroll moves to the right, and it's just really, really messy. And Ocon as well turned into me while I was kind of already there. One of the McLarens did that to me as well, if you would have noticed a little bit earlier on in the race. This is all just really, really bad. I'm rusty. Seems like the AI are rusty too. Just the comedy of errors. Virtual safety car is being deployed as I nearly run into the back of Sergei Sorokin. Not too sure what the VSC is for. Potentially for the debris that was left in the third sector. But away we go for green flag running once again. Track is now clear. Would have really liked the safety car there. Would have brought me back in the game. We've lost a lot of touch with the race leader, who is Charles Leclerc, my former teammate. He's nearly half a lap in front of us at this stage. We're only on lap 5 here. The Williams, as ever, absolutely crap through the corners. but I actually think they've got damage. They're going really, really slow for what this Williams should be going at, but through the low-speed corners, they're actually okay. Up the inside into turn 3, job done, P12. Next up is Verstappen. We're getting towards our pit window here. I think we're going to be stopping around 12, 13, 14, and then putting on the softs to run to the end of the race. Some people are doing the contra strategy like Verstappen, who started on ultras. He's actually going to go to the supers and run to the end of the race on the more aggressive tyre strategy. So I didn't really think to play around with the strategy at the start of this race, but it seems like Mercedes have given me a very conservative tyre choice. The two softer compounds can actually make it to the end, which it seems like I'm going to miss out on somewhat. But they've caught up to the back of Verstappen and Ricciardo. Ricciardo trying to make a move on one of the not the Williams. It looks like a Williams. It's going that slow. It's Fernando Alonso, the meme himself. It's good to see him in the Formula 1 game. Make the most of this because, yeah, this will be the last time we see him in AI form on an F1 game. On a current F1 game. I think I need to put that asterisk next to that. So, yeah, let's enjoy this because it won't happen for very much longer. Anyway, lap 11. We're trying to find a way past Verstappen if we can. We're going for a little dive up the inside into turn 3. The AI seem a little bit different. Virtual safety car is out again. I'm not too sure what that one's for. But, did we pit? I don't think we can pit. Yeah, the virtual safety car didn't last long enough. It's just really bad timing. It's for Brendan Hartley, who's driving around the circuit really, really slowly. So we'll have to watch out for him. The virtual safety car has been turned off, despite Hartley still driving around at dangerously slow speed. So you love to see that, Codemasters. Anyway, Ricciardo makes his stop. Going back to the Verstappen thing where he turned across me, I feel like that's new. Like the AI normally kind of chicken out of those moves and leave you space. But today we've seen Van Dorn and Verstappen do the same thing. Interesting. We'll have to make note of that. We've got a nice run on Verstappen here. Go to the outside. Wanted to go up the inside there, but Verstappen was covering it off through turn 3. Trying to hold it. Still trying, and there we go. P4. Ericsson is up next. We still need to make our stop, which we're doing now. Ericsson has already made his, so we're more than a pit stops lead behind the front runners. And now we really need a full course caution to bring us back in the game here. Onto the soft compound tyres we go. Mercedes v Red Bull, and Mercedes comes out on top. Leaving the pit lane, I'm actually using a new wheel right now, and it took me way too long to figure out which one was my pit release button. So that was crucial time lost there. But now you can see Verstappen behind. He's on the super soft tyre. So the tyre I was just on, he's gone from ultras to supers, and now he's a mega speedy boy as I'm on the really hard compound of the softs. So yeah, lost a position there, ran wide. Pace wasn't great anyway compared to Verstappen, and I think that was almost inevitable.
Lewis is in P3. We're trailing our teammate by 35.7 seconds. They're on fresh super softs. The time last lap was a 1:21.0.
And so it was at this point where I realized, yeah, I've made the wrong strategy call, or I didn't challenge my team and try to change my tyre compounds for the incoming set. But now you can see Verstappen is actually out of the race. So unlucky, son. You were on a good strategy there. He was set up to have some good pace towards the end, and now it's been completely undone by the Red Bull Renault. Yes, it's quite weird now seeing Red Bull powered by Renault, whereas at the start of 2019, I thought, oh man, this is so weird seeing Red Bull powered by Honda. Now it's like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's just so weird how we're like, we can't really adapt to change. I think one of the biggest things that I struggled with back in the day was Sebastian Vettel when he switched to Ferrari from Red Bull. And there he is right here, the man himself, Sebastian Vettel. I put the commentator's curse on him. He's now out of the race. Bloody Ferrari bottling it once again. He is out, and pretty alarming to see so many AI cars dropping out through technical failures at the first race of the season when everything's all fresh and new. And again, this harps back to the AI and just this game being far too easy. We've got championship challenges dropping out, and they really shouldn't be. But there we go. That was my race.
Well, that's a disappointing result for sure, but we'll try to bounce back at the next one.
Congratulations to Sauber then for their excellent win today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well though, there's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
So there we go. That is the Australian Grand Prix and anticlimactically the end of this career mode journey. No, it must be said, you guys probably weren't expecting this episode to come out anyway, so I guess this is somewhat of a bonus, but I really hope you guys enjoyed my career mode episodes that I put out over the course of the last year. One major factor, which I didn't even speak about, was the new game coming out in June. That as well played a role in why I also didn't continue with the career mode, because it was going to be a little bit of a stretch trying to get all 21 races in before this new game came out. So again, that just kind of piled on to the reasons why I shouldn't progress. But anyway, we had a good race, somewhat. I think we had some good battles. The pace wasn't too bad. My fastest lap was a 1 minute 20.9. You compare that to the guys at the front, they were in the 20s, the low 20s for the Saubers. I think Hamilton did a 20.5, and I'm not too sure on the tyre compounds that they were running, but I believe they went from Ultras to Supers. So when you compare that, my pace was, okay, it was a bit slow in qualifying, I'll give you that, but my consistency probably could have been better, and I just lost a lot of time behind slow drivers and people who had damage and stuff, and the field spread resulted in us just finishing P10 in the end there. So that was a bit crap, but the fact that Hamilton finished in third was really not too far away from the Saubers, even with the performance gap we've got at the moment. I think that all leads to being a very, very easy campaign for Season 4, and again, why I probably shouldn't have gone ahead with it, because it would have just been a walk in the park, essentially. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. I'm doing upgrades, and I'm not going to go any further than this screen here, but I just thought I'd show you the whole development path that I would take going forward. Still a couple of engine upgrades to do, which we just did there. I would also go down the route of aero, because the car needed a bit more downforce. There's Season 2, the dominant one we had there. I think it was like 8 or 10 wins. One of the most dominant seasons of career mode I ever had. So thank you F1 2018 for that. But Codemasters, I hope you've been listening to my feedback. I hope you've been listening to other people's feedback, and you make the game that is 2019 a whole lot harder for the player. And I think we'd all appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. That's been F1 2018 career mode. Really, really excited to bring you my next chapter, F1 2019 career mode. We'll be in the Renault. We'll be trying to contest for podiums, maybe Season 1, the odd win, and then, I don't know, we'll see how it all plays out. Hopefully, the story can be just as dramatic as it is in real life. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you very soon for F1 2019 career mode.